She's a tourism graduate herself, she's an entrepreneur and one of industry's rising stars. And she's the founder of the marketing and PR agency Be Distinctly Different.
Hello everyone, thank you for the lovely introduction, Claire. This is actually a very nostalgic type of moment at the minute because exactly 9 years ago, when I wonder if I should tell you guys, I was just about 21. I had just arrived in the UK, going to study at Bournemouth University. Any Bournemouth University graduates in the audience? Only one? Okay. I had literally just arrived here in the UK and they were bringing up the students to World Travel Market, and I jumped on board to come and see and experience it, and that was the first time I attended it, and I was sat right where you guys are at the ITT conference listening to all these fantastic speakers, and 9 years later here I am. So where has it all began? They all began for me, as you can tell from my lovely accent. I am from the beautiful island of Barbados. Two things that I always get asked when people hear my accent. Do you know Rihanna? And what are you doing here? What am I doing? Well, do I know Rihanna? I've only ever saw her in from a distance, so from across the room. And what I'm doing here, I'll walk you guys through that today. So where it all kind of began for me is right here at Grantley Allens International Airport in Barbados. I was my first part-time position in the travel industry as a customer service agent for a destination management company in Barbados. And my role was to stand right on the outside of the airport holding up a sign that said, "This way please." Now, that was not my ideal role or my ideal job. So I said to myself, well, Jamie Lee, you gotta be, sorry for the language, the best damn sign-holding girl that these people have ever seen. And that kind of leads me straight into my first lesson that I want to kind of talk to you guys about. I think it would be good for me to kind of go through some of the lessons I learned along the way. And one of the first ones is to be passionate. The reason that I'm here today stood is because of passion. The reason that I've kind of achieved the things that I have achieved within the travel industry is because I'm passionate about it. The thing about passion, it's a funny thing. It's kind of almost contagious. When people see your passion, you automatically excite people around you, and opportunities come up as a result of that. As you can see in this picture, as I told you guys not too long ago, I was literally the sign-holding girl. And in 1 year, I went from the sign-holding girl to the first junior cruise operation executive for the same company. I decided, right there, standing holding the sign, that I'm going to do the best job possible. I evaluated the different roles within the team and what I could potentially do, and I just worked my butt off. Really, I interacted with all the passengers coming through the airport, even as I was holding my sign, had conversations with them, and that eventually led to supervisors noticing you and seeing that you were passionate about it. And that by the time I completed university, they offered me a full-time position in the office. So here I am in Barbados on the Ventura, what I think is one of Princess Cruises cruise ships. So my lesson to you guys is to be passionate about what you do. When you are passionate, that shines through and people see it and notice it. My next lesson is kind of a cheeky plug. Hope you don't mind, Claire. Be distinctly different. These are 3 words that kind of guide my career, have guided my life, and continue to guide my entrepreneurial journey. Be distinctly different. It's also the very guiding factors that guide our business and what we do in terms of helping our clients to find their unique advantage within the competitive travel industry and creating campaigns to make them stand out. I want you guys to look to your left, look to your right, look behind you, look in front of you. You see your colleagues, you see your peers. Very soon, these people will be your competition because you guys will be competing for some of the same positions, the same apprenticeships, the same almost everything. And we also live in a global marketplace, so you'll be competing with people from outside of the country. So it's very important to think about how are you going to stand out? What is your distinctly different advantage? And I spoke to you guys earlier about when I first came up to WTM. And one of the things that I did when I first came into WTM, I knew that my university offered an internship program, an internship option as part of the program. So I decided that after the conference and everything was finished, I was going to walk around to all the different, as many exhibitions of the Stanhope exhibitors as I could, specifically in the Caribbean. So I got myself ready and walked around to all of these different exhibitors, introduced myself, told them that, well, I'm looking potentially to do an internship, and I got responses, I got cards. I went back to university that night time, and I sent out all the responses, sent out my CV to all these people that I met, and luckily enough, 2 people came back to me, and one of those persons was the Caribbean Tourism Organization, hence the photo, and they offered me the opportunity to come on as a marketing assistant, intern with them for a year. So you have to think outside the box. Especially in this competitive world that we live in, you have to think about how can I stand out? What is going to make me distinctly different? Be relentless. Now, I want to start this off with a little bit of a quote. Life is not easy for any of us. We must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something, and this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. Now, you're all university students, so I can put some people on the spot. When you hear the word relentless, what words come to your mind? I'm getting a bit nervous now, guys. University, college, when you hear the word relentless, what words come to your mind?
Tough.
Sorry? Tough. Any others? Persistence, that's a good one. So we got persistence, unstoppable, non-stop. So relentless is all about, in order to create success or to achieve your goals or to achieve anything that you set up for yourself, it's a process of continual action. So you have to put in continuous action. My story of being relentless in the travel industry was just out of university. My parents said to me, well, it's time to get back to Barbados. I was like, Mom, please give me like 6 months to see if I can kind of find a job. So I took those 6 months and I applied for hundreds and hundreds of job positions, and I did probably about 15 interviews, going as far, I was in London at that time, going as far as Northampton, and continuously hearing no. At that time, LinkedIn was still pretty new in terms of its development. So I decided I'll give it a shot. So I went, me being distinctly different as always, I went onto LinkedIn and I started looking for tour operators, and especially smaller tour operators that could potentially, want some additional assistance with some marketing, and I can get that first set of experience. And you know what, luckily enough, I met Prestige Caribbean Sarah at the time, and she was running Prestige Caribbean, and she offered me to come on a kind of part-time basis doing some marketing work. That eventually led to continuing on as a marketing manager and traveling all over the Caribbean to view properties and view hotels and fly in business class. And as Julia said, it's lots of fun in the travel industry because you get to experience some amazing things. So you have to be relentless. That's an important part of your success within the travel industry. And last but not least, it's to be fearless. Fear, or as I like to say, false evidence appearing real, because we create a lot of things in our mind and stories that we tell ourselves. But in order to, that stop us and hinder us from moving forward on particular things. There are 2 types of people. The people that will be wait for opportunities to come for them, and the ones that will go out and seek those opportunities. And the one differentiating factor is fear. You have to be a risk taker. You have to be fearless if you want to achieve any type of success in your life, in your business, in your career, in your school studies. You have to be fearless and think outside the box. So I want to leave you guys with one quick saying, which is you are your own driving engine and you are your own brake. So it's up to you guys to kind of determine your fate and what you want to do with your life. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jamie Lee. That's absolutely brilliant. You're kind of probably hearing a sort of a